origin. As the ayahs before that reaching that was saying that Allah has created us from the earth. So as the hadith says, all of you have come from Adam, and Adam is product of dust. So every one of us here, young and old and children, are nothing more than walking dust. Handful of dust that we are here walking. But if we refine this dust, if we enhance this dust, it's we, even the angels will envy us. So it's important that Imam Amr is trying to, or he will start a series of lectures starting with Adam alayhi salam. So they are good reminders for us, to remind us our origin, remind us our duties and obligation to follow the sequence of life that started with Adam alayhi salam, and we follow suit and crowned by Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that we all love and cherish, and we want to walk on the footsteps. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us iman. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us and our children. Some of them are too young to understand why they're here, but they will come, they will come to age, they will understand. That Luqman was in their age, and Abid and others, and now mashallah they're going up. So what you're doing, this masjid is a school. And I remind the youngsters, he's saying in Arabic and says, لا تنخل العلم من الصحفي ولا القرآن من المصحفي. Don't you ever take knowledge from a bookish person, from the Google sheikh, but never take the Quran, the ahkam al-Quran, from somebody who is not well versed in the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed Imam Sheikh. I don't recommend him to Allah, hasha, as the hadith says, لا أزكي على الله. I don't recommend anyone to Allah. I don't have that competence. But I urge the youngsters to get the knowledge from the source, from the professionals, those who are entitled to that. And together like this, we can do a lot. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant the success in us all. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of those who think about other people there, and we live a cozy life here. We've been very blessed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I just came from Albania and stopped in Istanbul. Then I saw a lot of Syrians stroll in the streets of Istanbul, and some of them, unfortunately, begging. So we should be mindful. We can read the Quran, we can talk about the Anbiya and Rasul, but if we don't try to be part of that scenario, of that mashhad, and to translate the ayats of the Quran into reality, that we are just walking dust without any essence. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of those who try to understand and try to reflect our Islam, for we ought to reflect the nur of Allah. Allah says, Allah nur samawati wal ard. Let us be of those who refine our hearts, purify our hearts. Ibn Taymiyyah says, two armies can never be defeated: a pure heart and sincere dua. Pure heart and sincere. There is an ayah written outside the hall that Ala bi dhikrillahi tatma'innu al-qulub. It's not that the memory of Allah put heart at ease. Now subhanahu wa ta'ala give us peace, and to other people as well who are in desperate need. Barakallahu feekum. Well, good luck, my brother. Inshallah ta'ala.
Allah bless you, brother.
Am I welcome? That's okay.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inshallah, in less than 15 minutes, I promise, we will finish What is it that we are trying to start? I'm trying to start a series about قصص الأنبياء, or the stories of the Prophet. Why am I doing that? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, لَقَدْ كَانَ فِي قَصَصِهِمْ عِبْرَةٌ لِأُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ. Indeed, in their stories, the stories of the Prophet, there are lessons, there is ibrah, there is something to learn. And he mentioned the stories of 25 prophets. He mentioned 25 prophets in the Quran, some in as little as a couple of times or a couple of places, in one ayah or two ayahs, and some like Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, Allah gave the story in details. The way and the philosophy of mentioning the stories in the Quran is different than it is in the Bible or other books. It does not follow the sequence, the chronological order. It rather, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala highlights and focuses in certain places, in certain areas, so we learn the lesson from here. And I hope, inshallah, we can participate. I'm planning to make it an open forum, inshallah. So open your minds and hearts, and let's go together deep to get some lessons from the story of whatever prophet that we are talking about, inshallah. Very quickly, I jump to the first story, the story of Sayyidina Adam alayhi salam. No, you don't want to show it here. The story of Sayyidina Adam alayhi salam. The story of Sayyidina Adam alayhi salam is the story of every single person of us, because Sayyidina Adam was the father of all humans. Like in the same way Shaitan or devil or Iblis or Satan is the father of all the jinn. He is the father of all of them. Sayyidina Adam alayhi salam, very quickly we know the story. I'm not going to go in detail with all the dimensions of the story. We know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created him with his hands. He mentioned this in the Quran. خَلَقْتُ بِيَدَيَّ. Allah created and shaped Adam alayhi salam with his hands from? He mentioned the different stages. Turab, dust. And then he added water. Water was added to dust. It was clean or mud. And then hama in masnoon, the mud was left a little bit for some time until the smell changes and it becomes dark, very dark. And this is the hama in masnoon. And then hama in masnoon, Allah formed and shaped it into salsal, which is this kind of if you keep it to dry, it will make some noise. And it was left like this for a while until the secret will come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in terms of ar-ruh, the soul. It's not by the body that we are humans, it's mainly by the soul that we are humans. We are not here to serve the bodies in the first place, even though the highlight is how much we should desire, fulfill our desires, the desire of your stomach, the desire of this and that. No, we're not here mainly for that. What makes us humans, or bashar, is mainly the soul, the secret. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala قال وَنَفَخْتُ فِيهِ مِنْ رُوحِي. He blew in Adam from his spirit. What does it mean? The spirit from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We're not part of Allah in any way. We are the creation of Allah azza wa jalla. So this soul that we usually ignore, many times we ignore until it suffers. We ignore this soul. It has a nourishment. We have to nourish it. We are here when we pray and connect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and sit with the salihin, the righteous people, and listen to the ulama. That is the right way of nurturing and nourishing your soul. We all know how to nourish our bodies. So Adam alayhi salam, the body Allah shaped him and created him. Iblis, guess what? He was a good person. He was a good person. He used to worship Allah with the angels. Some even believe he was an angel, but he was not. Allah said in the Quran, كَانَ مِنَ الْجِنِّ. He is from jinn. فَفَسَقَ عَنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّهِ. And he deviated and disobeyed the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when he saw Adam hollow, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created him, he said, well, I know this is not going to be a stable creation of Allah. لَإِنْ سُلُّطْتُ عَلَيْهِ. If I'm giving power over him, I'm going to deviate him. And if he is giving power over me, I'm not going to listen to him or obey him. So shaitan is our enemy. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us in the Quran, إِنَّ الشَّيْطَانَ لَكُمْ عَدُوٌ. Indeed, shaitan is your enemy. This is your enemy. From day one, even before the creation of Adam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told angels before all of that he will create Adam. And he will make him Khalifa on earth. The ayat that we just mentioned. He will make him, Khalifa means successors, a generation that will come after generation from one another. And another tafsir that's not very agreed upon is that he will be the vicegerent of Allah on earth. Anyways, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as he said in the ayat, He honored Adam, He honored this human being by creating everything for him. خَلَقَ لَكُم مَا فِي الْأَرْضِ جَمِيعًا. He created for you everything in the skies. And then He created Adam as the last creature. Created Adam. Ordered the angel to prostrate to Adam alayhi salam as a way of honoring. We cannot honor anybody in our deen, in our Islam, by prostrating for him. This is kufr, this is ibadah. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants angels to show this kind of honor by to Adam alayhi salam by prostrating themselves for him. And moreover, He told Adam alayhi salam the names of everything, of all the creation. He knew that. And angels were wondering, yani not objecting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's command, but they were wondering and asking about the wisdom. أَتَجْعَلُ فِيهَا مَن يُفْسِدُ فِيهَا. Are you going to create in it somebody who will make corruption in it? وَيَسْفِكُ الدِّمَاء. And he will shed the blood. The scholars jump in here and said, probably they said that because they have seen some other creation before that nobody knows. Quran usually does not give us those deep details that we are usually interested in. We have the desire to know. What was the name of such and such? How old did he? All of these are irrelevant. But in any cases, they were wondering, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told them, I know better than you, and I'm going to show you. He told him, and He gave him the knowledge of everything, and then He asked the angels, do you know the names of these things? No. Adam, tell them. Adam alayhi salam told them, أَنْبِئْهُمْ بِأَسْمَائِهِمْ. Because of the knowledge, we can be better than anything else. Because of the knowledge, let's strive to get the knowledge, the true knowledge. Let's get to the truth of everything. By knowledge, we will succeed in this life and obviously in the hereafter. Let's stick to knowledge and let's get out of ignorance. Ignorance is what dooms the human being. It's what dooms the human beings. He is ignorant. Let's strive to get the knowledge that made Adam alayhi salam above angels and angels prostrate to him. And then the story goes on. He was in Jannah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made everything available for him. كُلَا مِنْهَا رَغَدًا حَيْثُ شِئْتُمَا. Eat and drink whatever you like, but not this single tree. It is only one tree that you are forbidden to لا تقرب هذه الشجرة, to even come close to it. And subhanallah, even in Al-Jannah, we have millions of trees. Only this tree was attractive enough to Sayyidina Adam alayhi salam. How many things are haram? Yes, we have a lot of muharramat in Islam, but if you compare them to the halal, you can eat anything and everything. Everything by default is halal, except what Allah mentioned in the Quran. If you're going to make a list of these, you're not going to be able to count more than, I don't know, maybe 10, 20, 50 things, but then you have 500 million other trees and things to eat. All of that is halal. The only haram things is do not drink wine, do not eat al-mayta, the dead thing, do not eat the pork, few things. But subhanallah, haram is still attractive for us, still very attractive on us. We insist on that because shaitan is making it look as if like if you eat that or if you do that haram, you're going to be the one. That's exactly what he did with Sayyidina Adam. Sayyidina Adam alayhi salam did not go against the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala intentionally. He did not disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the form of istikbar, arrogance. He slipped. Nasi. وَلَقَدْ عَهِدْنَا إِلَىٰ آدَمَ مِنْ قَبْلُ فَنَسِيَ وَلَمْ نَجِدْ لَهُ عَزْمًا. He just forgot and he slipped. And the evidence for that is that once Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminded him and he saw the consequences of that, what happened? Astaghfar. And he came back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and he regretted what he did. Unlike Iblis, Shaitan, when he slipped too. But it was actually a deeper turn that he took. It was mainly because of arrogance. قَالَ أَنَا خَيْرٌ مِّنْهُ. He said, I'm better than him. You created me from fire. You created him from mud. In his mind, he is thinking that fire is better than mud. Why do you think fire is better than mud? قال العلماء كان أول الأقيسة التي يعني أتى بها التي علمت قياس آدم إبليس عليه لعنة الله. The first of using analogy that's ever known was by Iblis, Satan. And he used it wrong. Because his analogy was, I am from fire, he is from mud. In his mind, fire is better than mud. It's wrong. مقدمة باطلة, the introduction is wrong. Then whatever comes from that is wrong. The input is wrong, is going to give you a wrong. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala clearly ordering you to obey him. Out of arrogance, أبى واستكبر. This is the difference. We can make ma'asiyah. We can slip. That's not giving you permission. It's not green light to slip. But the difference is, Adam alayhi salam, when he slipped, تاب واستغفر. Iblis alayhi la'natullah, when he slipped, أبى واستكبر. So Adam alayhi salam, tab, he repented. and he asked forgiveness. Iblis alayhi la'natullah, when he slipped, what did he do? He grew arrogant. He refused and he grew arrogant. Let's never get to that, sin, which is the root of all sins, arrogance, al-istikbar, wa-takabbur. We make a mistake, we come back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as quick as possible. Hawa was created, he was alone in Jannah. Allah created Eve from his rib, the shortest rib. من خلق منها زوجها, from Adam alayhi salam, and he will find peace with her. They will live together happy and everything until Shaitan will come and he will swear to them by Allah, وَقَاسَمَهُمَا, if you eat from that tree, you're gonna live forever and تَكُونَ مِنَ الْخَالِدِينَ, and this and that. They were so pure, they trusted him, they ate from the tree, they saw the consequence of that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a wisdom. He knew from the beginning that they are created from earth. إِنَّ اللَّهَ خَلَقَ آدَمَ مِنْ قَبْضَةٍ قَبَضَهَا مِنْ جَمِيعِ الْأَرْضِ, from a handful of earth, soil that he collected from every corner of the earth. Hadith sahih. Why? Because all humans will be, they will be different, even though they are all from Adam. You have the black, the white. You have al-hazn was-sahl, those who are difficult, those who are easy and lenient and soft and easy to go along with. That's the variety of the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he was meant for earth, or he was meant to be on earth. And if you prove, and so why was Jannah, the Jannah thing, and Iblis, and the slip, and the asking forgiveness, it was mainly tadreeb. Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is training him. This is probably what you're going to face on earth. If you want to come back to earth, to Jannah, you have to prove that you deserve it and go against your desires and follow me, not Iblis, because when this happened, Shaitan say, well, I show you. Allah told him, you broke the order and you disobeyed, you're going to go to the hellfire. If you extend my life, I'm going to show you that I will take every human being with me. He said, you have this, but I will give immunity to those إِنَّ عِبَادِي لَيْسَ لَكَ عَلَيْهِمْ سُلْطَانٌ, to عِبَادُ اللَّهِ. My servants, you have no power over them. You have no authority over them. Let's again, the next lesson, let's be true servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Literally true servants for Allah. We are living our life to serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We're getting married to serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are eating and drinking to serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes, all of these are normal, natural things, but let's try our best to live our life as servants of Allah, so we have no authority of shaitan over us. We have the power to give him authority over us or not. We have the power. In one hadith, al-mu'min, the true believer, his relationship with shaitan is just like كَمَا يَمُصُّ أَحَدُكُمْ, is like any one of you having this kind of, what do you call it, the thing that you use for the horse. Yeah, the thing to control the horse. He said that's exactly the believer, lijan, no lijan. Rain, yeah, the rain that you use for your horse or something, that is the believer with shaitan. A believer puts his shaitan under control, not the opposite. The disbeliever or the follower of shaitan, it's the opposite. Shaitan is having the reign. He directs him left and right. It gets to that level that whatever shaitan tells him, he goes by it. So let's not put shaitan on top. Let's rather be the uncontrolled. We can do that by being true believers of Allah. Adam alayhi salam will come to earth, and all of the other details you can, inshallah, we all know. But inshallah, I will open the floor right now, 10 minutes, that's good, for more lessons that we learn from the story, inshallah. So let's get more lessons that we learn from the story of Sayyidina Adam alayhi salam, so we can benefit from it. What other lessons that we learn?
I want to see if you can tell us something about how it is mentioned in the Bible, right? That Adam is created from, they consider he was created in his image. And this is why they always try to make it as a human person, God as a human, human as a God kind of comparison.
This is also in the hadith, the human being created on the image of God. That's what it is in the Bible. He created on the image of God. And the way it is understood is that God is like us, or we are like God. In Islam, that's not the case. Yes, we have a hadith, إِنَّ اللَّهَ خَلَقَ آدَمَ عَلَى صُورَتِهِ. Allah created Adam on his image. What does this mean? The scholar said Allah created Adam as is, on the image of Adam. Like he was not every human being like us. We are born, we are babies or fetus, and then we come to be babies, and then we grow up. We take different shapes. Adam was not like this. Allah created him, boom, like that. The shape of a mature human being, not on the image of Allah, because nobody knows the image of Allah, and obviously the image of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is completely different. We know Allah has an image, He has a face, He has eyes, He has this and that, but nobody knows about it. We will know about it inshallah when we look at it, at Him subhanahu wa ta'ala in Jannah.
Whenever I talk to somebody, they bring this all the time, right? So I say, when you read the Bible, it says God created Adam in His image, and it's actually H-I-S, which is in second letter. It's not a capital H-I-S. If it was God, and he would say, oh, it's capital, right? It's like G-O-D, God. But it's actually his image, it's Adam's image, right? I mean, this is how I...
But the point here, the common thing in here is that the human being, yes, we say it's not on the image of God, but he is the most honored creation of God. This is the common part in there. Allah said in the Quran, وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ. And He said that we have honored the human beings, the children of Adam. And Allah created everything for us. Look at that. Before He says the story of Adam, and it appears in the first surah, just a couple of pages from the beginning of the Quran, the first page, the first story that comes in the Quran is the story of Adam. And Allah said right before that, and I did it in purpose, I recited a couple of ayat before that. He said, هُوَ الَّذِي خَلَقَ لَكُمْ. It is He who has created for you everything that you see. It is ours. What do we do with the earth? Do we use it the right way? Do we destroy it? So it is, everything we have is ours. Is ours in the totality of the human being. Not just the rich people, not just a group of people. Greed is what makes some of us try to control everything. We know that in all countries, including America, the top 1%, they control probably what, 40% of the... It's not, Allah created for you, for all of us, it's ours. This earth is ours. So, and those, the immigrants, I know this mentality, they live here like, this place is ours, not in terms of dominance or anything, no. Because it's Allah made earth, the entire earth, for everybody, not only for the believers, for everybody. So we belong to everywhere, and even Jannah, we belong to Jannah because we created from Jannah, all humans. But when we go back, when it's time to go back, it's only if you are a true believer in Allah that you deserve to go back to heaven. But if you do not qualify by not doing the right things, you're not going to go back. Adam, one interesting fact about Adam alayhi salam, Brother Hassan, if you can show us this, from the hadith, authentic hadith, how tall was Adam alayhi salam? Anybody would give it a guess? How tall? 60 feet? No, it's 60 but not feet, yes. 30 feet? 130? 60 ذراع, 60 ذراع arm spans, which is, if you give it, transform it, transfer it into meters, it's going to be 28 meters, which is around 90 feet. Around 90 feet. If there is a cloth, some people did it in Saudi Arabia, one of the factories that have they produce the clothes, they made it, and it's not very clear in here. Those are 2 men right there. This is the right size of the men. But this is a thobe like mine right here, that they imagine how it will be like the size of Adam alayhi salam. This is how big it will be. So this is the human being. This is how tall. Can you see it, everybody? And this is how we will be in Jannah, inshallah. Allah will bring the believers, will make them in Jannah at the same image and dimensions of Adam. And he was al-ard kan, the width, 7 arm spans, which is around 12 meters, if I'm not wrong. And that comes down to around 30 feet, somewhere around 30 feet. So
it'd be easy for him to walk from Sri Lanka to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, because some narrations he came down in India. That's what it said, not in Sri Lanka. He came down. When he came down from the sky, he came in India, and Hawa came in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Nowadays, that's why it's called Jeddah. And Hawa they got to know each other in Mecca or in different narrations in Arafat, or in Safa wal Marwa, somewhere in there. So the woman walked from Jeddah, Hawa, Eve, walked from Jeddah to Mecca, which is nowadays 1.5 hours driving by car, and Adam alayhi salam had to walk all the way from India to Arafat, to Saudi Arabia. And yeah, probably it takes him not too long being that size. Any other lessons? Let's focus on the lessons in here. What do we learn from the story, Brother Shawk? الحجاز, بلاد الحجاز.
The basis of all knowledge to this day is nomenclature.
Is what?
Is nomenclature, is identifying different things.
Do you want to come here?
Is identifying names of different things. That is the basis of all knowledge to this day.
And that's why Adam alayhi salam was giving the
Names
origins of all.
It's not defined what names. Obviously, he was starting a career which would last, which would be repeated again and again in the entire lifespan of the human being.
Okay.
So the names, the word names or nomenclature would be as important then than it would be for all times to come.
Okay, very interesting point. More lessons? Any more lessons that we learn? Sisters, brothers? Okay, at this, yes, Brother Manaj. Last one.
حسد.
Envy.
Envy. Shaitan's.
He envied Adam alayhi salam because Allah gave him a special care. Exactly. This is the rule. Two things are the first two sins that were Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala disobeyed with, al-hasad wal-kibr. Envying and arrogance. Envy led to arrogance. Or probably arrogance. Envy, yes. Envy, he envied Adam and then he thought I'm better than him and he grew arrogant. Jazakumullah khairan. It's meant to be the last one. This is the last one, inshallah.
He has a free choice. He was not obligated to do anything. Otherwise, you listen or follow the instruction of Allah.
Adam alayhi salam?
Yeah.
Yes.
He has a free will.
Right, so he has
He's
the
not obligated to anything. He chooses.
Exactly, you choose, and you choose. If you go this way, you'll be better than angels. If you go that way, you'll be worse than shayateen, than devils, right? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you the free choice and make everything available for you. Inshallah, Allah give us always the right choice, inshallah. At this point, feel free, inshallah, to take some tea very quickly.